Hi guys, welcome back. All right, let's get into this. We're going to take a look at a collective message and see what we've got for our story. We have the Hermit, so we have somebody in deep thought possibly today. Their time and consider how to look at a situation from all sides, consider how to respond before just responding, consider, contemplate, ask oneself the right course of action. 10 of Swords is sideways. It's about something that's actually possibly already over, but there's a chance to bring it back around and back into life, or back into conversation or back into dialogue. And that, anytime there's a question mark of is something over and done or is it not, I can understand how, a character would really have to think things through. Now we have the Queen of Wands, which is usually someone who's going to think about things from their personal perspective. What do they actually want to do for their own, peace of mind? Now, this is somebody with a very warm heart. They're not going to make a selfish decision, but they are going to make a good decision that they would come to, like, for themselves, but for all involved. So this could very well be that we have a divine feminine that would be saying, you know what, I want to speak from the heart. I want to say the things that I need to say. We do have the Eight of Swords though, but we've got this horse rushing forward. So I have to say that Eight of Swords is usually about blockages. And I'm wondering if a Queen of Wands is in a headspace of wanting to help someone get unblocked or wanting to unblock dialogue. She's thinking about it. She may be thinking about reaching out, talking to someone. This could be all on her own motive. Like, I feel like I would like to communicate with someone. Do I want to open up that can of worms? Do I want to talk to them? Temperance and the Moon being sideways. This starts to feel like what she's really questioning in herself is, do I need to talk to somebody in order to, like, am I doing it for me? Am I doing it for us? Am I doing it for them? Why would I be doing this? Is it to give my own self a sense of peace? Let me ask that first and foremost. Is it so that I can get unstuck? Let's change decks and say, in the first place, why is this Queen of Wands considering communicating, period? So she can walk away from something with the Eight of Cups and with that Page of Wands. Eight of Cups and Page of Wands is, I think I'm ready to move on to the next chapter. I think I want to, like, laugh again, love again. So it's like she wants closure. That's what I think this is. She's actually seeking closure. But in order to do that, she almost wants to open up something that was already kind of over. Or maybe she's saying, I don't know if I can completely give myself peace until I give myself this closure. Let's get one more here. We have a Three of Swords and we have a Two of Pentacles, both sideways. It's definitely like someone is remembering someone fondly, or somebody is feeling a closeness, but also a heartbreak. It does look like she probably endured some kind of heartbreak, and it could have been from someone close to her. And that's why it's like, I need to find, how do I get closure? I would like to open up a conversation to give myself the closure. But here's the thing. She's already a Queen of Wands upright. Queen of Wands upright is already in an amazing head and heart space. She's already incredibly empowered. She's already in a place where she is balanced. She's not actually seeking it. She's already received it. So I don't know if this is about closure as much as it is allowing herself to just release something, and allowing herself to say, you know what, someone that I really care deeply about also might have, cut me pretty deeply. But here's the thing. If we're looking at why did someone that we love very much also possibly do us wrong, especially when it looks like they loved her too, right? That, I know it's the Two of Pentacles, but this is two people that have such a shared energy, right? We've got them both other halves, two halves of a butterfly wing. Butterflies represent transformation. They maybe were in one another's lives more to help each other to transform than they were to be together forever and ever. This may be the thing that she's maybe just needing to come, or she's seeking this answer, I think, but I think she already knows it. Someone can love us, someone can play a huge role in our lives, and someone can still not be able to be more than what they can be in our lives. You know, their journey with us is what it is, and sometimes it there is still pain, but there's also, you know, like I'm glad I knew you, I'm glad I know you, even if there is a limit as to how much we can share together, because there is a limit to how much we were supposed to share together. And I feel like she's making peace with that right now, is what this says, right? The Ten of Swords sideways. It is actually over, but I'm still thinking about it. I'm actually in a really good place. It's almost like she's asking permission deep down for herself to say, you know what? I'm glad I knew that person. Yes, there was sweet moments, there was painful moments. But I wouldn't have changed that experience for anything, because ultimately that was an important experience of my life. But I also get to move forward now and have my next adventure. It just feels like someone is asking for permission within themselves, really, to be able to laugh again, love again, dance again, sing again, talk to somebody new, pursue something new. We have the Eight of Wands. We have all kinds of, and I really feel like this is always our most joyful Eight of Wands card ever. It's about the communication and the, we can see like the excitement. These wands are just blasting off. I really think that this character is about to feel like, oh, I get to explore again. It was just a matter of letting something go so that our character, our Queen of Wands, can move forward in life and live the most spectacular and exciting life. And there's, without any regrets or without feeling like, you know, look, not all things can be wrapped up with the perfect tidy bow that ideally we would have in life. And I'm wondering if this queen, because she is somebody who has such a warm heart, I wonder if she had even been concerned, like maybe, I mean, I felt like I was brokenhearted. Maybe words I spoke broke their heart. You know, in life, I think what this is trying to say is perhaps there were also loving truths that were said. You know, sometimes the people that we care about the most are the ones who can point stuff out to us. Also, we have to remember that everyone has their own interpretation. Also, we can say the most wonderful, supportive things, and if someone rejects those words and chooses to hear them in a negative light, they could still be hurt by a compliment, a sincere compliment, if they don't like that compliment. So how somebody digests words that's why ultimately it's on them. You know, that's why words are just words. But, you know, obviously caring about somebody, that's, you know, like a showing of caring. And I think that really existed for this Queen of Wands and this person as well. Could they both have sometimes shown that they cared about each other? And could they both have understood that the other one had hurt and pain? And could they both be worried, I hope I didn't contribute to your hurt and pain? The thing is, this all says that it's all shared. These cards both came out sideways. So I would say it was a mutual experience of genuine caring. And sure, some, you know, moments that it's like, oh man, that made me sad, or that made me think about that differently. But I know you care about me. At the end of the day, I know that you cared about me too. Whatever this is, it feels like she has to undo any feeling of like worry that, you know, was I not loving enough? She was wonderful. She's always been loving. This is somebody with a really warm heart. This is somebody who's always done their best, but also has to afford themselves the right to be human. And sometimes, you know, like, of course we'll make missteps in life, but if the intention is never to, you know, not act with love, except within that human frame where sometimes we get pissed, sometimes we get hurt, sometimes we get upset, you know, those things happen too. Everyone's allowed to have human emotions, you know, and not feel guilty about it. But or when we do, then we say sorry afterwards. But I think this whole storyline is like her relaxing some of that huge pressure she's put on herself about, like, on one hand, thinking back over a past, wondering, did I do right? Was I 110% always correct? Was I probably not, but that's life. Probably neither was the person she dealt with. Probably, both people, walked away having made an impression on each other, but ultimately there was genuine caring here. And I think for her to be able to move forward and have like the best life ever, which is what she's headed into, she just needed to feel like she's allowed to. I don't know why. I don't know if it was like a sense of guilt. We don't really have like a 10 of wands, which would be like a guilt card, or a 4 of cups, which would be a guilt card. And I think that's because she's intelligent enough to know that really she's just like, in a philosopher's way, she's thinking about things and saying, can I, move forward now and have like my very best life? Yep, she absolutely can and should, is what this storyline says. Yeah, Knight of Swords. There's really nothing holding her back. There really aren't more words to say. It's more time to take beautiful action in life, and also to like know that, there's the Ace of Swords, whomever she parted ways with, everybody moves on in life and does the things that they need to do. That's their authentic path. And we don't control other people's paths. Everyone controls their own actions that different people take. That's because that's what's right for them. And it's better that we don't get to control other people's paths. It's better that everybody has their own free will to decide whatever path they want. And there's a million different timelines that we could choose. And it's all, one day I might, want to wear this color clothing, and then the next day I don't. 10 years ago, I wanted to be in a totally different, like career path. And then 10 years from now, I'll probably want something different. Like, it's because we change, we evolve, but it's our own timeline and path. I think that the final message here is that her journey with that person is done, because the Ace of Swords is the truth that also sets us free. But it's the truth that says she gets to move forward in life and go on her path, just like every person on earth. Their actions are theirs. Their thoughts are theirs. Their timeline, whatever they want to pick for themselves. Every person has every right, and should have every right, to choose their path, their heroic deeds, their mistakes, all of it. It's all up to each one of us, and we're not actually responsible for like everything that everybody else does. We're responsible for, engaging the way we choose to engage, and sometimes we'll make a mistake, but ultimately her actions are hers, this person's actions were theirs. But I just think this is a lovely energy of, there was a lot of caring here. There will always be caring between these two, even if this is the end of the road for the two of them to, be in each other's worlds and, interact. Still, the energy shared was, there was some real genuine, beautiful caring, and there's also new life paths up ahead. So this is really a Queen of Wands who has a huge chapter up ahead for her, and I think she can now fully embrace it. I think she knows she's supposed to, because this is a sort of truth, is also the clarity. Like, yeah, I am supposed to live my best life. I am supposed to make my choices, just like everybody else on earth will make theirs. It's true. I am in charge of my actions, my thoughts, my reactions. I choose to move forward, and I know that I should. I feel like she just needed to get the freedom, the closure, the mindset that would allow her to move forward completely and joyfully. And I think that's what we see her doing. Can we get one last card then? Let me get a different deck here. When she moves forward in her life as that Queen of Wands, we have the Star. First off, there's a lot of healing. And secondly, there's a lot of wishes and dreams come true. She may have a very, very big life purpose up ahead for her. She may have an Aquarius she's supposed to meet. She may have many, many things that she's supposed to do. And all of her life experiences in total are the things that have made her into who she is. But again, her life path, her goals, her dreams are at the forefront of what she shifts into next. And I'm almost wondering, is it like she needed to make sure, because she is such a warm-hearted and like generous. I mean, a Queen of Wands is very loving. They operate from the heart space. I'm wondering if she needed to be okay in herself with the fact that I think she's headed for some very beautiful goals. And it's like, am I really allowed to succeed as much as I will? Am I allowed to heal so much? Am I allowed to reach huge new like pinnacles of success, wealth, happiness, joy? Am I allowed to do all that? And I think she needed to be okay with the fact that yes, that's her life path. That is what she is like headed for, destined for. These are the things that are coming up next for her. You know, I had a storyline for the signs and symbols message that came out, that I posted at 5 a.m. this morning. And I feel like this is almost the complement to that. And what's crazy is that in that one, there was someone up ahead that a feminine was going to be meeting that is actually a king of wands. And I just think it's funny that she comes up as a queen of wands here. And in that one, it was very much someone whose like life path was about to like, you know, like a unfold. And of course, our characters get to choose, right? In my fictional stories, I give all of our characters the same parameters that we would have in real life, simply because I find it more relatable that way for storytelling to, you know, have characters that we could like be, okay, if I was that character, what would I do? But I feel like this goes hand in hand with that storyline from 5 a.m. Anyway, I'll make sure it pops up on the screen right about now if you want to check that one out. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye for now.